Alrighty. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the DNR Racing. Good day, everybody. Welcome to the DNR Racing Network as we are live here from the AMS CUp Series. And these boys are at Watkins Glen. That phenomenal road course. The fastest road course in NASCAR, so they say. So these guys are doing a little bit different here. Hudson, nice to see you, buddy. Yeah, right, that does happen. Fortunately, not everybody can make it, but I am going to go over some of the race information here. So you see here, we are in Watkins Glen, New York. That's a 2.4 mile track. Current track temp's 91 degrees. An altitude of 447 feet. Current track temp is 71 degrees Fahrenheit, 69% humidity, clear skies with a 10 mile per hour wind. These drivers do run fixed setup, 70% fuel, 1 fast repair, 4 sets of tires, and tonight these drivers will have that stage break on lap 10. Got notified earlier today, and that's where they will have their stage break. So you see there, Kitzman on top with Farmer second, Cochran P. Oh no, Brandon Moore goes to P3, and Michael Cochran goes to P1 as Brandon Moore falls down that totem pole there. We do have a bunch of new camera views here, so we're going to try them out. So we got every camera view of every turn. Turn 1, turn 2, turn 3. Bus stops, yes, we got them all here tonight, so I might get a little up and close. They do have drone cameras, but I don't know if I like those, especially at this track. If I go here and look, well, that's the drone over turn 1, and that's the drone through the bus stop there. That's the final. Final wall there. There's too many cameras to do. So. I have these cameras here too, so. Like I said, we got a bunch of new cameras here, so that we can follow all the way through every turn.
Good evening, Brian.
Ow, I should blast my eardrums out. Hello.
Hello.
So I did find out they're doing something a little different tonight. They will have their stage break on lap 10.
Yes, Avery just told me. So, competition caution / stage break at lap 10, and then back at it after that. So a short sprint.
So we have every camera for every turn. We got the carousel. And then we got the penultimate. We got the final. And then we got the final wall. And then
That's cool, Brian.
Oh.
The flag stand.
They have a drone cam, but I don't know if I kind of like that. It just all varies on where they're at on the track. Look at you. You go from calling a one Watkins Glen race to another.
I know, right? It's that part of the season, that part of the scheduling where it's just back to being back-to-back races pretty much at the same track, but just different league. Nothing wrong with that whatsoever, because it's always great and fun seeing all the hard competition between each and one of these competitors.
I might be back in time next week. I don't know.
In time for what?
Next Monday.
Oh, Monday. Gotcha, next Monday. Where are you going? Oh, never mind. I know.
Because we're leaving Monday. I don't know when on Monday. If it's morning, I'll definitely be back in time. If it's afternoon, maybe, depending on traffic. What a freaking 9-hour drive that's going to be.
Yes, James.
Close, that's for sure.
Heck of a race you had out there the other night in the that Blitz Truck Series race I was calling from Atlanta. Jim Comensberger called me a naughty word the other night. He was like, "You're an exploitative commentator, aren't you?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm all over the place. You never know where I'm going to be. I'm going to pop up everywhere."
All right, so go over to starting grid here. So P1 would be Avery McDonald. P2 would be Will's doppelganger.
Michael Cochran, P3.
Shelly Kitzman, P4. Josh Farmer, P5. Mike Bior.
Boy, okay.
P6.
Greg Elliott, P7.
There you go.
Keenan Miller, P8. Brendan Moore is P9. Antonio Benini is P10. Chris Stang is in P11. Sean O'Brien Jr., there he is. There's Sean. After I tried calling his name, I guess he's like Beetlejuice. You call his name enough, he will appear. Because I was doing that the other night to old JD, right? So Dwayne Furtek and Kevin Trzynski rounds out 13th and 14th. Nathan Line and Joseph Madigan in 15th and 16th positions, respectfully.
Yep. 17th is Jason Taylor. P18, Chris Ostrander. P19 is AJ Burns. And P20, Mike Robinson.
Bernie's. AJ Bernie's.
So we can follow them all the way through.
That's YS. Wonderful. So I now thank you, Brian. We could have been doing this for like a year or so, like or longer than about.
Out, so.
Hey, it's okay. Hey,
if it helps you,
if it wouldn't have been for the guy the other this past Saturday night, I would have never known about it. So, I figured like there was a way that I could have. Now I do, so I'll shut up about it. Yes, sir. So same amount of laps as last night. Tonight's fuel mileage window, 23 laps. 23, 25, 23, somewhere in that ballpark. So, if they go any further, they did a miraculous job saving, but they shouldn't. Watkins Glen International, man, it's a track that has stood the test of time, been reconfigured many different times. The S's was deemed too unsafe, so they put a chicane in the S's. That was one heck of a thing. You should go back and try to find those races. Down the back straightaway, the first back straightaway, which I call two back straightaways here, you have the bus stop chicane. It was put in place after Tommy Kendall and a couple of other fellow Trans Am sports car drivers broke their legs and had serious crashes. And then after J.D. McDuffie had his fatal crash here, that's when the bus stop was incorporated to finally slow the cars down, all cars in motorsport here at the Glen. And then other changes have been made throughout the track as well. We're not doing the boot here, so we don't have to worry about going through the laces or nothing of that sort. So just the regular short NASCAR circuit course here at Watkins Glen. And it's been around pretty much since the mid-50s. Like I said, many different reconfigurations. NASCAR racing has been held here ever since 1989 or 88. I believe it's 88, the inaugural Bud at the Glen. So might as well call this the Bud at the Glen 45 or 110 here at the AMS CUp Series this evening. Because if it's called something else, I kind of forgot it. So rolling into the starting area, lights are out on that Ford GT, Shelby GT pace car here. I love the camera work or camera software that you have, Brian. You always seem to get some good camera angles going on. And here we see Barney the flag man waving the flag. Green is out, and we're rolling. Heck of a pole lap time put down by Avery McDonald in the 93 McDonald's car. As everybody barreling into turn 1, 3 wide, might have been slight contact with Josh Farmer and whoever that was in the middle there. Oh, looky here, Michael Cochran, that's who it was. No contact, though, made. Michael kind of backs out of it, I do believe. But Boré has a problem. He spins, and Cochran does, too. So trouble on the opening turn, Brian. We're going to need to get a replay, if you don't mind, of that chaos here. As we see the cars transferring through the bus stop now, seeing how well nothing happening here. But yeah, if you don't mind, Brian, if we can get a replay of the opening turn 1 there, into the little short chute that follows up into the S's. Michael Cochran and Boré there in the 31.
Mm-hmm.
So, other than that, pretty clean opening lap as McDonald trying to charge away. But Roberts isn't going to let him do that. In practice, there was some blistering laps of basically 1:11s. Basically, was the fastest lap. It was like a 1:11.6. Here we see the replay here. Josh Farmer had a door of opportunity there. It was a big door. So, contact is made from the 3 wide. Cochran gets into Meadows there in the 9, and then Meadows isn't supposed to be in the 9, but that's okay. Third week in a row being in that. Owen Miller kind of helps Cochran go around after the contact gets made, but up at the front, side by side for second place, Elliott and Roberts is going at it, going through the carousel there. If that's the drone cam or whatever that camera is, there's too much foliage in the way. So, Greg Elliott to the lead. Pretty aggressive here, early goings. Like I said, we do, and Brian has said too, we do have that comp caution coming out at lap 10. But nevertheless, Brian, at a road course, if you have the pace or also have the speed, you want to get to the point. You want to get to the lead as quick as possible. You don't want to lollygag, linger, just tra-la-la around, right?
Oh yeah. You don't want to do that. Because then you'll be off pace. Unfortunately, road courses, I notice a lot of leagues really don't do cautions unless a whole section of your track is blocked.
Yeah, whole track blockage. Roberts being hindered now by Sean O'Brien Jr. there in the 65. Roberts!
Wow!
Turned in too early. I believe, right? Like
that was way too early. That would have been a good,
yes.
Camera for you to have there.
He's got to have a broken toe link or something. Something's got to be awry on that 78 machine. As hard as he just smacked that inside wall, but man.
He hit that pretty hard, pretty hard.
It's amazing how it's amazing how that car was still rolling after that contact. That's okay, Gatorade bottle. But Roberts had put the most laps in practice too, Brian.
That he did.
Thanks to you sending me the SDK link thing, I was able to monitor how many laps people had been running. And Roberts had logged over 50 laps. Well more than you need, right, for this race. You only needed to log at least 45, right? That's a full race run simulation, right? To get a feel for how the car is going to play out for 45 laps. But he ran like 54, I believe. So he got a couple of good ones in there. Got a couple of extra miles in. So, but that's definitely going to hurt. Hopefully he can get back out there, get that fast repair out, and get back out in a hurry. He was able to limp around to pit road, but that's awfully going to be detrimental and hurt. Since there's a comp caution at lap 10, do you think maybe he might stay out and try some strategy, Brian? Because these guys are... Excuse me. They're still going to have to make a pit stop after that comp caution.
Oh, yeah.
Because last night's stage break was at lap 15/16, and Robbie let them stay stay under caution for one more lap, and they didn't have to make a green flag pit stop. But if Robbie wouldn't have done that. Hypothetically, maybe they would have. Maybe it was close, Brian. It was close.
Strategy's the key, man. If you do the strategy, then I think you'll be in good shape all night.
Yeah, we have 5 laps remaining until we get to that comp caution at lap number 10 here in this race here at the Glen in the AMS Cup Series. And Josh Farmer not really letting Greg Elliott out of sight, but McDonald, our pole sitter, is down in 3rd position. He's basically 2 1/4 seconds back away from the race lead. Keenan Miller in the 82, he's in 4th position. He's just over 2.5 seconds back. Sean O'Brien Jr. is in the 5th position. He's over 3 1/4 back. Brendan Moore in the 88 machine, he's in 6th position. Antonio Benini and the 35, he's in... Huh?
Antonio Benini.
Yeah. Chris Stang in the 72, he's kind of in a comfortable 8th position at the moment, but Furtek seems to be kind of on a charge in 9th position, trying to scramble up the field.
Is that Bristol race Sunday or Saturday?
Saturday. I believe it's Saturday. It's supposed to be a night race.
Oh, I might be able to watch it. Hello, let me get there. Ooh, that's that wall there. Kind of a little bit too much there. That's a thing though. You don't want to turn too early because you will hit those guardrails there. And toss you out like a loose cannon.
Yeah, you got to be careful. We saw it last night in the SRU Cup Series race for any of the DNR viewers that may be over there on MaxSpeed TV on a Sunday night. I'm just saying. We saw plenty of times last night where the cars just transitioning through the bus stop. Some drivers just wanted to maybe be a bit aggressive with the inside exit curbing on the inside of the bus stop. And that was catching a lot of drivers out. And then we saw on the final lap of the actual race that basically the final curbing on the little short chute going from the penultimate corner to the last corner, catching out Shane Van Gisbergen, Brian. So these flat bottom cars, they will bottom out. They will get caught out. They do not.
Race, though, on Sunday.
Oh, yes, it was a great race.
Between him and Chris Buescher.
Yeah, Buescher, a lot of people don't give Buescher enough credit as a road racer, but you know he won one of his Xfinity Series races that he won was in a rain race at Mid-Ohio, and a lot of people forget that, but I do not. So a lot of other people also forget that Justin Marks also won a rain race at Mid-Ohio, but okay. It's Justin Marks. I mean, that's pretty much going to happen.
You see Cochran in the pits.
Yeah, I kind of wonder what type of damage Cochran could have had for his car. You know, earlier contact at lap 1, turn 1, all that happened. What were you going to say, Brian? Yes?
We actually get to call the Bristol race tomorrow.
Yes, we do. The BNR Truck Series coming at you from Bristol, Tennessee, Thunder Valley.
Let's see how many parking garages we have there. quite a few people pitting. So I wonder if it's going to come out on lap 11. Oh, Stang locked it up. So I wonder if it's the completion of 10. I think it is.
I'm going to have to go with I think it is, because there's a lot of people that has jumped into the pits, probably to take advantage of this, so they could maybe have different track position compared to Greg Elliott, Brandon Moore. There's some drivers that may have been caught out by this evening, maybe being misunderstood or what was going to take place, you think, Brian? Or else maybe they would have pitted, or just lots of different strategies that going on.
There's 11.
Caution, caution.
There you go.
Talk to me, good. What do you got?
So that will be the stage break there. So Brandon Moore will lead them back to the pace car. I think I should do that on road courses. It'll, keep everybody, a little closer. So I'm sure Brandon Moore is saving some fuel so we don't run out. Well, no, because I think you get enough fuel. Hey, B, you better go catch that pace car. Oh, there's the pace car just pulling out of the pits there, going into turn 1. You see right there, now Brandon will catch him going into turn 2. Yep, and then coming through the S's here. So he caught him coming through the S's, so this will be their stage break, Will. See, we probably would have had a good camera view here of Roberts hitting this guardrail here.
Well, while we're under caution, why don't you try to go back to it and find it?
Sir, don't holler.
Oh, I didn't know it was.
Where is it at? Let's be your. I think it was lap 3.
It was.
Yep, there it was.
Oh, that's perfect, Brian. Perfect camera angle. Well, let's rewind. Yeah. There you go. Okay, minds think alike. Let's just sit here. So, Chris coming at pace here. This is the replay of the Roberts incident going into the bus stop. We're just going to keep embarrassing Doppelganger even more. It's okay. I wouldn't mind it, so I'm sure. Oh, man, Elliott. Wow, Elliott got close to it, too. Oh, this is just the line, Brian. And then Roberts is like, yeah, I could do that, too, guys. Woo! That looks like something I would do, isn't it?
Yeah. Like I said, that's a good camera.
I used to drive the 78 years ago, so I mean, it looks like something I would do.
There goes Brandon Pitt. So
Hey guys.
that was pretty good. Camera view. That's why I like watching the S's camera there, because a lot of people get very close to it. So Brandon Morris, Furtick, Madigan, and Ostrander pit. The 55 and the 11 will are out of the race. Kind of like Ryan Blaney, you know, on lap 1.
Yeah.
That was such a hard
NASCAR. Yeah, NASCAR just locked onto you to the back of a rollback, and then, yeah, you're done.
And as Blaney said, they didn't give us a chance to try to fix it. They just said we were done.
Yeah, we couldn't even look at it. We're done. Yep.
That's horrible, ain't it?
Oh, yeah.
I didn't think he really clacked the wall like that. All I saw was him just like, oof.
Yeah.
So these cameras were actually free by an old broadcaster that wanted to share his time with the community and made the cameras himself. So that was nice.
Nobody has gotten down. Yes, excellent work by community contributor, nameless person there, Brian. Thank you. Nobody has gotten down to the 111s yet, but Shelly Kitzman there in the number 4. Is he actually the number 4 this week? Has gotten down to a 112.03, so knocking on that 111 door, you know, of being, you know.
Yes, he is in the 4. Look at that.
So with the lights being off on the pace car, man, it's going to be awful close. And they will have to pit again if we do the math. Go to Aaron's, do the math. They are going to have to pit again, Brian. And it's going to be one heck of a race here.
Too far out behind the trees.
You have Jason Taylor in the 44, Kitzman, who was one of the fastest cars in practice, in second position. Sean O'Brien Jr. in third. Avery McDonald, that is your pole sitter, in fourth position. Josh Farmer, fifth. Antonio Bonini in sixth position. Keenan Miller in seventh. Will Roberts, after doing... The Russian judge gave him an 8, so it's okay. Michael Cochran is in 9th position. Nathan Line, he's in 10th. That is the top 10 as they're coming to the restart.
Madigan had to stop for some reason. As we've seen him.
Maybe he passed the pace car when he shouldn't have. I don't know. I'm just trying my best iRacing AI impersonation. Anyway, so the car's rolling. We're hiding into the restart area here, as Madigan will have to get put a lap down here by the field, it looks like. Pace car will release them, and we will be rolling into turn 1, under action, under fire. It's a lot cleaner, a lot better restart than the initial get up to go. Love to see it. And what a beautiful flowing up to the, oh man, Josh Farmer gave me a scare. He was really yawing that car out. I can imagine, cold tires here being a heartache. Longich really complained about it last night in the SRU Cup race. Cold tires just not being able to come up to temp like you want them to, so you can't really pounce and be aggressive early on in a run like some others can. Magically, it seems like, right? But others just able to heat those tires up better. As we see Michael Cochran trying to fight back here, picking a nose on Keenan, but had to get back in it. Oh, Sean O'Brien having a moment. Taylor lets him breathe, but he's got everybody behind him. Oh! Contact coming off the final corner, and Elliott goes around. Oh, we got a car flipping! Carnage on the front straightaway. Nathan Lyons involved. Brandon Moore's involved. Kevin Trzynski was involved, I believe. Oh, man. I'm going to need to get a replay on that, Brian. Brandon Moore said something, but I can't hear him in the for some reason. I just see when his names pop up, but yes, this is going to be a replay, I think. Oh, Greg Elliott gets slideways coming off the corner. That's where the contact comes in. And my apologies if I was trying to throw anyone under the bus. I was not. I'll do one of my Steve Letarte apologies there. Like to see it as it unfolds here, as everything happens. Get a replay, but that's Furtek that goes over. Oh man. Oh wow, he ramps and kick flips, and oh wow. That's amazing. And then Brandon just comes out of nowhere, and that nowhere to go for Brandon. I mean, the track is pretty much cluttered with cars. Furtek got high centered there. I think his tires were flat or something. He couldn't get back going. Man, I'm speechless, Brian. I've never seen something.
That was brutal. I mean, we did kind of see when William Byron went up into Brad Keselowski's window and said, "Hello, I'm here." So, poor Brad.
Watkins Glen. It's basically one of the fastest road courses in North America, and you.
If Will was here, he would agree with that. I said it's one of the fastest road courses in NASCAR circuit. So.
Yep.
Next year's going to be interesting, though, Will.
When the average
Mexico, wherever that track is. That's
when the average
F1 racing.
F1, Formula E, WEC.
You're going to love that, ain't you?
I mean, kinda. I wish IndyCar was going there with them the same weekend, or was able to accompany. I don't know. I would like to see more racing of I would like to see more series that mainly race in North America, like race in Mexico too.
I mean, I don't think Brandon's that hurt. He might have had some, a little bit of nose damage, but otherwise.
But yeah, whenever the average speed here is $140 or $150, maybe 60, you're carrying some pretty high average speed there, and especially on these straightaways, we've seen it before historically in the past. May not have been on iRacing, but we have seen in the past in the real world. You can go and look up Watkins Glen crashes just in NASCAR alone, and they're pretty huge. There's been some pretty gnarly big crashes in IMSA back in the 90s, in the GTO and other eras of IMSA, when up here in the S's. Man, the big Nissan on Nissan crime up in the S's years ago in IMSA. But the K&N or the Busch North race back in the 90s, there was a bad crash up in the S's back then, or early 2000s, one of the two. Yeah, whenever Ryan Newman barrel rolled his car here in qualifying. Don't know what good styrofoam's going to do except like basically pinch and like go flying like it did. If you look up that replay, Bill Elliott bounced out and got caught by the catch fencing on like behind the guardrail. I can't remember what turn that was, but that happened to old Bill from Dawsonville. And then, like I talked about at the top of the show, J.D. McDuffie and Tommy Kendall. I want to say P.J. Jones. Well, J.D. McDuffie got killed here, but P.J. and Tommy, I'm pretty sure, both had leg problem. Well, that's one of the reasons why Tommy Kendall's career got kind of cut shorter than it did. Like he probably could have went longer with his career if that crash that happened to him here at Watkins Glen never had happened, because it kind of shortened it, right? Because of trying to apply pressure to the brake and throttle pedals that you need to be able to go fast as a racing driver. Same thing happened to Dario Franchitti with Dario Franchitti's crash at the Austin, Texas street circuit. If anybody was familiar or watching IndyCar at that time when that happened to Dario. We're not talking about that. We're talking about the Glen. I'd like to see IndyCar back here at the Glen. They seem to come here periodically, but it's not enough. I would love to see Formula One come here again instead of going to the places that they go to, right? Like Miami, and like yeah, let's build a racetrack around a couple of parking lots and a football field. Like, you know, whenever you have all, yeah.
25 laps to go.
25 laps to go here in the AMS Cup Series, brought to you by the DNR Racing Network. And Kitzman is in the lead by...
Medlock didn't wait to say that 25 laps to go mark last night.
20 to go. What are you saying? 20. But yeah, I'm like, we're not there yet. Normally it's me being so gung-ho to, shorten it up or, yeah? What? Anthony did what?
No, I said Ansi.
Oh, Ansi. Oh, yeah, Ansi. I heard you say Anthony, my bad. Excuse me. Kitzman leading over O'Brien. Miller, Farmer, Cochran, that's the top 5. Jason Taylor, McDonald, Roberts, Bonini, and Boyer is round out the top 10. With Chris Stang in 11th, Brandon Moore 12th, and Ostrander and Elliott rounding out the lead lappers. Nathan Lyon, Furtek 1 lap down, Joseph Madigan 3 laps down. Not 100% sure why Madigan is 3 laps down, or for that matter, a lap down at all.
I wonder if he pitted and then he got called for entering the closed pit, but no, that would only send him to the back. Maybe when they threw the call, probably trying to go. See Cochran now in the pits for his last time. 23 to go. So teammates in 10 and 11 and 15.
Sean O'Brien up 10 positions. Jason Taylor is up 12 positions. Two of our biggest movers of the evening. Let's try and find two of our biggest losers. Michael Cochran is down 9 positions from where he started, and Avery McDonald is down 7. So make that 6. My apologies. Well, he's in a battle, right? Our pit stops are happening, so let's kind of scratch all that, I guess. And Shelly Kitzman has finally broke the barrier of 111s at least. A 111.92 is the overall best lap of the race. Next closest competitor to him it looks to be a 12:38, a 1:12:38 by Josh Farmer.
So,
Oh, my bad, a 1:12:34 by Keenan Miller.
so the Black Flag Motorsports currently sit P1 and is about to sit, alright, yeah, P1 and P4. BC Racing is P3. P10, P9, P10. That's about it for that. Asylum Racing sits P14, P2, P8, and P12. So 20 laps to go here. And the AMS CUp Series is brought to you by Watkins Glen. You see Robert sitting P4 at the moment, with Madigan right behind him, which is not in third position. Oh, we'll save it. I noticed they put, I was watching the race on Sunday, they put like grooves in the turn 1 and then coming out of the chicane there.
Yep, good. But it still didn't deter drivers from going off track.
No, it did. Did not. That's for sure. Oh! A wide arc there for line. As the 4 applies the pressure to the 38. As Nathan Line is going to get out the way there. We'll try to. Look at them brakes glow. Look at them glow. Bum, 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 bum. You see there, O'Brien comes out right in front of Kitzman there. As Kitzman, a couple of lap older tires than O'Brien, if O'Brien did take any tires. So, you see Kitzman all over the back of that 65 Will. This kind of reminds me of the SVG and, oh no! Of the SVG and Chris Buescher. Well, at one point it did. Oh, Nathan Lyons slips the rear.
Kitzman just got really wide off track. That's kind of why NASCAR don't want you going. Well, I'm getting really NASCAR, but I guess the Glen or whoever doesn't want you going off track so much, you know. But hey, you know.
Hocevar did it.
Yeah.
He was trying to take the boot.
Didn't he actually do that or something?
No, he missed his turn and went straight. Then he put it in reverse and backed up. Would have been interesting to see where he would have came out as. But I think they have that guardrail there, so he would have never been able to get through. Laps to go, Will. As Miller is in the lead, followed by Farmer, Roberts, and 31, then O'Brien, then Kitzman, then Cochran, then McDonald, Taylor, Bonani. That is the top 10.
And like we've already talked about it before, next week we will be at Bristol Motor Speedway, Thunder Valley.
Oh, 3 wide, just about. No, it ain't. You see there, Ostrander gets out the way.
And Kitzman has driven back to Miller here. Or not Miller, Sean O'Brien Jr. My apologies. Oh, Kitzman loses it there after O'Brien shuts the door. He had to really put on the binders, back it up a little bit, and that really caught out the back end of that car, and the car did not like it.
Nope.
And that happens.
Yeah, when you're racing hard and you just got so much heat in those tires, well, that it's just...
After having a big slide earlier, I mean, those tires probably wasn't really all that performing well, and then having some more moments like that isn't going to help any.
So Will Roberts pitted, and then he came out right in between Taylor and Bonani, so fresh heat tires. So hopefully he doesn't take out that guardrail again. But yeah, that would be something that you would do. Even me. Because if the car turns that good, it's just gonna keep turning.
Yep.
Even though if you don't want it to turn as much. Oh. But with these cars, it's very hard to tell. But see me, road courses I can put a stage in, and then once everybody pits, I can instantly shrink the lap. That's probably what they should have done. I'll make sure everybody gets their pits in and then instantly shrink if they want to go, depending on how big the track is. So. I don't see Will's brakes. Well, I guess we'll have to watch. Oh, Nelly, there he goes. I'll have to watch him going in turn one. Yep. There they are. Laps to go. The thing is, with these cars, for the S's there, it will get loose on you if you don't instantly shift to fourth. I figured that out the hard way.
Yeah, I can only imagine like how tricky or kind of also how annoying it can be to brake with these Gen 7 Cup cars.
The thing is, with these cars, you really gotta hit the marks. The overcorrection is brutal too as well. Oh, you see Miller now making his pit stop. I wonder who's burnt the tires off of him. Oh, Taylor, be careful.
Kitzman running down Cochran. Keenan Miller now in the pits. How much time is he going to lose? Where is he going to come out at? This is 7.7.
12 laps to go. They're making good time, that is for sure. Oh, you see there, Josh Farmer now in the pits. Joseph Madigan now in the pits. Farmer had a 10.7 second pin stop, as Madigan had a 14.7. See Kitzman all over the back of that 42 Toyota there, Wolf. He's going to have another go at it. We saw what happened the last time.
Oh, it just cuts away. That is he is going to make a pass of it.
Yep, I switched the camera right off us.
Side by side, though, Kitzman and Cock are going into turn one. Who's going to... Oh, well, Kitzman takes that position away.
Thanks for the follow, much appreciated. Ten laps to go here tonight, Will. Final 10 laps. I'm not too sure who's left to pit. Ooh, Madigan. Way off track. Very rough go for Madigan tonight. Not used to seeing him being 3 laps down at any track. I mean, unless you're calling a wreck or something. Which I really don't think he was though.
Yes, under 10 laps to go, 9 laps to go to be exact, here at Watkins Glen International AMS CUp Series. Action this evening.
A lot of upsets this week in football.
Yeah, there was quite a few in both college and
Professional.
yes.
So Philly down by 5. It is 15 to 10 in the fourth. They still got a whole 12 minutes to go. As you see there, Roberts trying to get on by Taylor there, but trying to do it without forcing him out the way. As he tries to look underneath of him there, as Taylor gets a little wide off out of the carousel there, as Will's going to stay on the track.
Madigan coming.
Yep, go ahead.
Madigan trying to slice and dice through the field, even though being 3 laps down. But yeah, this battle being interrupted just a little bit by that. Taylor and Roberts, 7th and 8th place respectfully here. They are just over 23 seconds back from the race lead of Sean O'Brien Jr., Keenan Miller in 2nd, and Shelly Kitzman rounds out the podium positions in 3rd position.
Yep. Kitzman had a heck of a drive back, that's for sure. Oh, Madigan! Got into
Getting
the back.
getting into the back of the 44 of Jason Taylor, and Will having to run the carousel a little bit wide there, but then Manigan gets on the binders. But Bonini coming into view of the battling two there for 7th and 8th place. So
Will locking his brakes up for the second time going through turn 1, Will.
and you can just see how big of a handful these cars are to these competitors. I still can't get over that big crash that we saw in the front straightaway, involving Greg Elliott and a handful of others there. Nathan Line, Fire Tech,
Oh yeah.
Brandon Moore. That's probably the Tums heartburn relief of the night. If we were Tums, look out there. I'm not saying I enjoy your medication. It's actually pretty terrible, but
Oh, it ain't supposed to be good.
well, you know what I mean. Definitely a code brown moment for all those drivers involved in that crash on the front straightaway, Brian.
Yes, I would say. Especially Furtick and Brandon Moore, that kind of put a hurt in the beam. So,
let's look up at the battle up front, Brian, because Keenan Miller closing in on Sean O'Brien. Don't know if Sean has driven into a mistake or what, but basically 4.5 laps remaining. 5 coming, 4 at the stripe. I'll get it right eventually. But Keenan Miller kind of closing in a little bit there on Sean. Like I said, not sure if Sean's kind of driving into mistakes here or there, but Keenan really cutting the apex of each corner, it looks like here.
he had a little bobble there. We see the difference in the line going through the carousel, Will, as Keenan's a lot more down towards the rumble strips to where O'Brien's just half a lane above it, so.
Sean O'Brien, one of the biggest movers of the night, up 11 positions. Keenan Miller is up 6 positions. Jason Taylor up 10 positions in 7th place. But now crossing the line with 3 laps remaining here, coming up at the top of the hill at the S's. Sean O'Brien, Keenan, I think, might have clipped the grass, and his car jolted across the track there. He clipped something, maybe got the end of the curb. No, he didn't clip nothing. He just ran a bit wide there. So, going to have to try to chase him down a little bit more, catch him back up again. Keenan hitting the apex of the carousel here, having a tighter turn. Coming to 2 laps to go at the stripe. Who's it going to be here at the Glen? Kitzman still chasing down the leaders here, Miller and O'Brien. But he's 6.5 seconds back. He's basically a straightaway away, a whole straightaway from the end of the carousel to the penultimate corner is from Kitzman to O'Brien. So, or vice versa, I should say, O'Brien to Kitzman. At the moment, it's this two-car battle raging at the front of the field, F1 style battle. O'Brien and Miller. Miller trying to reel back in O'Brien, but unless O'Brien makes a mistake, it's pretty much like a Chase Elliott, Martin Truex Jr. race here. Keenan Miller has tried to apply as much pressure as possible, but it looks like at the moment, Sean O'Brien's race to lose.
Yeah.
Like I was telling the guy yesterday, I get everything on here but the lap counter as far as like who has led the most laps. But I get everything else I need, so that's nice. Sean O'Brien had the fastest pit stop of anybody too, with a 660. Keenan had a 760. So, I mean, just that second, Brian, is pretty much what we see here on track, right? So, if he could have just had a second, if he could have matched that pit stop that Sean O'Brien had, he probably could have maybe jumped him in the pit cycle. But final lap is out, white flag going down at the first back straightaway for the final time into the bus stop here. Keenan Miller trying to get as close as possible as he can, taking up every inch of real estate and then some. He's having the tire line through the carousel. Can he close in even more? Coming down the back straightaway to the penultimate corner. Here they come. Looks like Sean might have the hand here. All they have to navigate now is the short chute and the final corner into the straightaway for the final time to get the stripe. It's going to be Sean O'Brien Jr. getting the checkered flag here tonight. Keenan Miller brings it home second, with Shelly Kitzman in third, Michael Cochran fourth, Josh Farmer fifth, rounding out the top five. Avery McDonald, Jason Taylor, Will Roberts, Boye in ninth. Antonio Bonini, Brandon Moore. Antonio Bonini. Chris Stang rounds out the lead lappers. Greg Elliott, I think, is still on the lead lap circulating. So 13th, Chris Ostrander in 14th, and Joseph Madigan 15th rounds out our finishers. So in a minute, once everybody finally gets done, we will have our podium finishers. I guess we could go ahead and grab them, Brian.
So Kitzman, Miller, and Sean. Right, let's bring him up.
Hey, Shelly, got a copy?
Yeah, how you guys doing?
Doing good tonight. How about yourself after driving up here, finishing in the podium? Had, a few battles, I guess you could say, but, all in all, a good podium finish.
Yeah, kind of a, for sure, double-edged sword tonight. Really fast and just could have easily won if I was patient and just rushed everything and got myself in trouble.
Yes, sir. Like you said, just could have been more patient, less rushy. But whenever you're so quick or you're so fast at a certain track, you almost don't seem like, I know from past experiences, those patients can kind of wear thin, or like you just want to pounce or get the lead whenever you can, right? So I totally understand. Just tell us though about trying to be quick around here. What's it take?
Yeah, for sure. I think, started running laps earlier in the week and was running like upper 112. So went on YouTube, watched a video, and then kind of I was downshifting way too much. There's a couple turns now where I use third instead of second, and then that really just kind of brought out the speed. So I think just kind of doing your research really and knowing what you have to do where, because it's a tough track if you're just going for it. So.
Bristol next week. What's the thought process going to that high bank?
I'm looking forward to it. I'd say that's one of my best tracks. I'm just hoping iRacing doesn't give us a setup that's way too tight and makes it just a right front competition. But if we don't get that, looking forward to it.
Final thoughts, any shout-outs or anything else before we let you go there, Mr. Kitzman?
Yeah, shout out for you guys broadcasting this every Monday night, and then the people who run the league week in, week out, making sure everything's okay. Great race tonight.
Well, congratulations on the podium finish. Maybe next time we come here, maybe get a couple of spots better.
Yep, hopefully next week. I'm talking to you guys after first. Have a great night, guys.
Good night. Shelly Kitzman there, P3 podium finisher. Now we will get to Keenan Miller here in the 82 machine. How was your night overall? We saw the closing laps. Tell us from your point of view.
It was a very stressful finish, trying to hunt down Sean there, but he kind of turned it on the last few laps, even though I made a good little 2-second push on him. But I feel very stressed out after that event. It was a nice feeling to be up front with the kind of power we've had. We've had good cars all year and just never seemed to get the finish that we feel like we deserve or want. And it was nice to show out tonight and be able to put together a good, complete race. Get a nice second.
Yeah, I kind of compared the ending of this race to like one of the wins whenever you fend off Truex there at the Glen. So I mean, I was basically calling him Martin Truex there, but yeah, like you were applying so much pressure to Sean. I was surprised that he didn't kind of overdrive into a mistake. See him kind of just psych out, so to speak. But yeah, Bristol. What's the thought process next week, Keenan, going into Bristol?
Oh, well, thankfully with the chase getting ready to start and having a nice finish here, we'll be able to go back to the shop and be able to kind of maybe take Bristol a little more aggressively than if we didn't have a good result here and we're still close to the cutoff line. But I believe in the points, I don't know exactly until I get back to the hauler, but I believe we're in a good position to still make the chase, whether we finish good or bad. So I think we're going to go out there and try and get the win if we can.
Yes, the immersion is real. We are in a press conference room right now. I can't wait till you go back to that number 30. Yes, you're in the 82 hauler. So you got to send me a picture of that hauler. I'd love to. Is it a Peterbilt, Freightliner, Kenworth? What you got?
It's a Subaru Impreza. I haul a 6-foot trailer on it, just long enough to fit the car on. We roll it off and race it and put it back on and travel the world.
You popped my bubble of awesomeness there that we had going, and then you killed it.
I was hoping to see a reenactment of an SVG / Chris Buescher moment here, and Yeah, it was almost there, but
You know, with our talent levels, passing Sean was going to be hard, even if I did get right to him with maybe a couple laps to make it happen. So I'm glad we didn't have contact. We both got a nice finish. I would have loved to have had the win. I'm dying to get back to victory lane in this league, but the autism awareness Chevrolet really turned out tonight. We had a good finish, and kind of like you guys said earlier, you know, I was in a good spot that if a mistake was made by the leader, I was ready for the pickings. It just didn't quite work out that way.
and you
Well,
see
final
one
thoughts.
thing- Oh, go ahead, Will.
No, you're okay. Final thoughts, shoutouts, anything else you'd like to add, Keenan, before we let you go celebrate?
I just want to focus. I know this is my first time ever getting finished where I got interviewed in the broadcast. I just want to mention my autism awareness Chevrolet again. You know,
Yes,
autism
sir.
affects all sorts of people on many ends of the spectrum, and it's always good to just be aware in how we handle those situations and try and support. You know, helping cure and support those people and doing the best we can for them.
Yes, over 20 years ago, it used to be 1 in 9.
As he cuts out.
Yeah.
Hello.
There you
Is
go.
that better? Okay.
Yeah, we can hear
Yes, back over 20 years ago, the statistic I believe was 1 in 9. Now it's like 1 in 3. So it's something that has finally, like you said, finally gotten, I think, a good awareness on society that autism is actually a real thing, and awareness is real for it, right? Just like a lot of other things out there that some people have kind of had the wool over their eyes, right? They've been kind of hiding from themselves. It is something you need to take seriously. I agree with you.
Yeah, absolutely, and I'm just honored to be able to be a part of AMSLeague.com that gets the opportunity to spread that message.
Well, and we will see you next week at Thunder Valley Bank. Can't wait to see what you can in Bristol, Keenan, with that Subaru.
Yeah, we'll see. It's tough driving that thing through the mountains, but thankfully from the home base, we're only about 4 hours away, so it's not too bad of a drive.
Later,
Yeah.
Keenan.
He's a character. I like that.
Yes, sir. Now our race winner Sean here tonight with the
wow.
Boston Celtics car. How you doing, Sean?
Man, that was probably the hardest I've had to work for a win in a while. I mean, also I don't win a lot, but no, that was a hard day at the office. Shout out Shelly. I mean, they were in a different zip code. I mean, they probably would have won if they didn't spin right behind me. And Keenan was pretty fast too. Shout out him.
Well, let's talk about that though. But you did some good defensive driving to keep him behind you, kind of suck him out, and like kind of, block his progression, so to speak. Like you were like, waka, doors shut, right? And kind of psyched him out into outbreaking himself to drive into those mistakes, right? Like he sounded very disappointed that he got psyched into do those mistakes, right? As a fellow fast competitor around here, right? Like he felt kind of let down that he drove into those mistakes or got kind of tricked into them. I wouldn't really say tricked into them, but it's very easy to lock up or kind of expect someone to, just go into the defense, right? Like you did. Like you saw he was approaching you, you're like, hey, I gotta try to keep him behind me as long as I can. And then, like you said, he kind of did what he did, and he had to kind of try to claw back from that. So, tell us a little bit about that and just what you did to keep Keenan behind you.
Yeah, this race was, I got really deep in the bag of tricks, pulling about everything I could. That comp caution they threw at lap 10, that definitely threw a wrench into it. So me and Jason, we were kind of debating whether or not to, pit before it, like you see the guys in real life do, like when a stage is coming out, or pit during the caution, stay out and pit under green. So, Jason, he got stuck back there to begin, so he decided to stay out. I was pretty up front. I think we were like 5th, right before the caution came out. So it was coming in short pit, Farmer came in, a bunch of other guys came in, and under that caution, I was saving I was saving as much as I could, like doing everything. I didn't want Marcos Ambrose myself and stall going up the S's, but yeah, it really was a fuel mileage game because we just saved enough so where I could take 5 gallons in the pits instead of 7, and that's honestly what kind of won me the race was, taking less fuel in the pits on the green, so I was able to jump Shelley and then keep him behind me. Because if I was in front of him, he was gone. He was taking me to Gapplebee's before that pit cycle, and if I didn't jump him, he was gone. So it was a lot of strategy, and just defensive driver on my part. I don't want to wreck anyone. Like I try not to wreck anyone. I still haven't looked at the replay of when Shelley spun. I know I locked up going in there, so I don't know if that was really my fault or not. It could have been, but just being defensive without just blocking like a maniac, like Joey Logano.
Right, Joey's a bad example.
We saw.
Yeah, I'm the world's biggest Joey fan, so I can say it.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Wait, you got Dell Jr. as your profile picture. You're a joke. It must have been very heartbreaking whenever Dell Jr. lost by like a splitter at Talladega that one time whenever Harvick dumped the field under that green-white check. Back whenever they had 3 green-white checkered attempts and they gave it to... I'm sorry, we went on a whole ID. You told me things that triggered me. Anyway,
yes, buddy.
Yeah, yes, sir. But anyway, Bristol's next week. So what's the mindset, the preparation going to Bristol, Sean?
Survive. It's just gonna be like any of these short tracks on this game. It's just keeping your nose clean, staying out of accidents. Only using that quick repair when you really need it, and it's gonna be track position. Like here, it's gonna be all about track position. And just being able to defensively drive and just stay clean.
Well, Sean, any final thoughts, shout-outs, anything else before we let you go?
Shout out Jason S. Taylor for convincing me not to do the bad strategy, and shout out Dylan Kurtz. He doesn't really race anymore, but he was watching us. He kind of whispered into my ear this race, kept me from just choking like I normally do. And shout out everyone at the league, Greg, Avery, Keenan. I'm forgetting one admin, he's going to be mad at me. And shout out you guys.
Well, Sean, to you. Hello?
Oh, sorry, I cut out.
No, yeah, I think we all did. Congratulations to you tonight for taking home the victory here at the Glen, and hopefully we will be talking to you next week at Bristol.
All right, thanks, guys. Have a good night.
You too.
You too. And that'll do it for myself, Will Roberts, Brian Huntley. We would like to thank each and every one of you fans coming out, tuning in, being a part, and just chilling with us. And each and every one of the drivers coming out for racing. If it wouldn't be for the drivers, we wouldn't have a show to put on for the fans. And next week, we will be at Thunder Valley, Bristol, Tennessee, to bring to you the action from the AMS CUp Series. Tomorrow night, we will be bringing the action to you from Thunder Valley for the B&R Truck Series, so tune in there. Until then, we want to wish each and every one of you a wonderful and safe good night.